The Russians put the first man on the moon.
That's steps away from nuclear war.
There's no going back.
A three-way race to Mars.
We're not going to come in second place again.
Today, we take the next step towards a self-sustaining Mars colony.
They're looking for guys just like us.
This job on Mars, I could be doing something that I never even dreamed of.
For the next 2 years of your life, Mars is your new home.
What's happened?
Something incredible.
This asteroid, it could change everything for people back home.
There's more iridium in the asteroid than has been mined in the entire history of Earth.
We can capture the most valuable known object in our solar system.
North Korea, CIA, KGB, they're all wanting a piece of this pie.
Is this about justice or filling your pockets? What are you going to do with all that money if you're dead?
I always thought I'd go out, play the glory.
I'm gonna get that rock or die trying.
We are powerless up here.
1,000,000 miles from my family. This isn't what it was supposed to be.
People are going to keep getting hurt.
Well, your bank accounts grow bigger and bigger.
Building a new world for our future.
You ready to make history? Always, my friend.
Okay, I'm Carolyn for So Here's What Happened in Carolyn Talks podcast. So one of the interesting things I think that's really stands out to me for this series is how it talks about geopolitics and how that ties into family dynamics and family issues. And for your character in season 3, she has this new position that she's been elevated to, and she's learning the ropes and having to fill in a spot of someone who was a friend to her, and she has to deal with taking over the community, as well as dealing with the politics between Earth and Mars, as well as having to keep her position as a woman and like dealing with the sexism and the pushback that comes from a male-dominated space. But she's also dealing with guilt over not being there for her own daughter, and now making promises to a grandchild that she has yet to meet. So, can you talk about her guilt as a mother, but then potentially as a grandmother, and how that ties into the politics? Because these people are trying to make a home on Mars, but their families are on Earth, and they're struggling with the political complexities of that, as well as how that affects their family dynamics.
Mm-hmm. There's so many scenes that I can think of that really mean a lot to me. But this one moment in particular always makes me so happy. And it's in season 1, I think it's episode 5. And Danielle pulls up and she's grabbing Clayton from the Air Force base that he's landed at. And she just runs up to him and gives him this huge hug, and he spins her around and he kisses her. And you see in that moment that this is a real human being who has a husband that she misses, who has made it out from his time in Vietnam by the skin of his teeth. And we see her as a human being. That moment is the seed of who Danielle is. Of course, she's an intellectual, and she's got an acumen for business, and she's a scientist and a geologist, but she's also a real person who really has someone she loves that she misses dearly. So I love your question, because what excites me is the duality of both of these things, of her commitment to being an astronaut and her work to get to where she is, and then also this personal life that is in direct conflict with it. Seeing that her mission to keep Clayton together crumbles. We unfortunately don't get to see that because it's in the season 1 and 2 time jump. But when we meet her again at the beginning of season 2, she is lower than low. I don't know what it's like to live with a depressed person who is so low that they then commit suicide. What was that time like for Danielle? Was this the first attempt for Clayton, or was it the 5th attempt? Did she find his body? You have to ask yourself, like, what are the things that she experienced, so that when we see her in season 2, she is emotionally and physically drained. She looks like she's seen a ghost. She's lost weight, and she is at the lowest of the lows. So that same Danielle, who is in her early 30s at the beginning of season 2, she's still in there when we see her season 4. That same woman knows what it's like to love and lost and have somebody who you couldn't save. And so now she's got this flourishing family back on Earth. Her relationship with Corey is deeper and stronger than ever. Isaiah's gone on to get married and have a baby of his own, and she can't be there. So I think the journey that Danielle has and the sort of push-pull of holding work in one hand and family in the other hand is a journey that women everywhere, all across, not just Black women, not just women in America, women everywhere are holding those two things at the same time. And I think it's what makes her really fun and really lovely to play as a character, is this rich family life that gives her a strong why. She has a real reason to be here. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see how the season ends.
I'm looking forward to it because it's interesting that no matter what planet you live on, there's some things we as human beings can't escape, and that's family drama. So thank you so much.
Yeah.